the deepest, darkest corners of the ocean, where light has never touched, life has evolved in unimaginable ways. But what if I told you one creature has unlocked the ultimate power, complete invisibility? This isn't science fiction, this is real, and it has scientists questioning everything we thought we knew about life on Earth. It all began during a deep-sea expedition conducted by a group of marine biologists from the International Abyssal Research Coalition. Aboard their vessel, the Abyssal Seeker, they were exploring depths of over 6,000 meters in a trench within the Pacific's Midnight Zone, a region shrouded in eternal darkness. This was supposed to be a routine scan for bioluminescent species, but what they encountered would rewrite marine science forever. During the third descent, the team's cameras picked up a strange flicker, something that glimmered faintly, almost imperceptibly, before vanishing into the blackness. At first, it was dismissed as an artifact, light reflecting oddly off a translucent jellyfish, perhaps. But when they reviewed the footage in high resolution and slow motion, it became clear the flicker had structure. It was a living entity. Roughly the size of a small shark, the creature didn't swim with force. It hovered, drifting silently through the abyss. But its most astonishing feature was its body, which seemed semi-liquid, like a floating sheet of polished glass. The creature bent light around itself, rendering its presence almost invisible. It didn't match any known species. The team called it Spectravelis, Ghost of the Deep. Upon observing more footage, they realized it wasn't a one-time encounter. The same region recorded similar shimmering glides, sometimes behind rocks, other times barely visible on the edge of sonar maps. The creature was real, and likely not alone. The scientific community was floored. Invisibility in nature is incredibly rare and typically limited to camouflage or transparency. Spectravelis was doing something entirely different, actively manipulating light in a way no creature on Earth had been confirmed to do. A marine biophysicist on the team described it best. It's like nature's cloaking device. Not only is it invisible, but it seems to know when it's being watched. With limited funding and growing curiosity, the Abyssal Seeker team planned a return trip. This time, they would go deeper with better gear and one mission: to witness the impossible up close. What gives Spectravelis its otherworldly ability to vanish from sight? Scientists were determined to find out. Initial analysis of Spectravelis footage and environmental samples led to the theory that the creature's skin is made of a unique collagen-based matrix combined with microscopic platelets known as nanocrystals. These structures refract incoming light, bending and scattering it in ways that make the creature virtually undetectable to the naked eye, even under powerful lights and multiple spectrums. Think of it like water being poured onto glass. Light doesn't bounce off, it passes through. But Spectravelis takes it further. It doesn't merely vanish into the background, it actively redirects light, creating the illusion that there's nothing there at all. In some segments of video, even the ocean currents bend oddly near its body, as though being pulled subtly around a hidden form. This light-bending camouflage is a phenomenon scientists are calling active optical refraction, a process entirely different from the passive transparency of most known deep-sea creatures. Whereas glass squid and certain jellyfish rely on their translucency to blend in, Spectravelis has evolved a way to become functionally invisible from multiple angles. Even thermal imaging has a hard time picking it up. In one recorded incident, only a vague ripple in the surrounding water temperature hinted at its presence. Spectravelis appears to regulate its body temperature to match its environment, making detection by heat-based sensors nearly impossible. Biologists believe this adaptation is not just about hiding from predators, it's about hunting. Deep below the surface, any flash of bioluminescence can give away a creature's position. A hunter that can disappear entirely would be a nightmare for prey and for science. To complicate matters, Spectravelis seems to react to observation. Cameras turned toward it often experience static, and several recordings show the creature shifting slightly or disappearing entirely the moment it comes into full frame. It's as if the creature can sense when it's being watched. One theory even suggests the presence of photonic receptors across its body, an ability to detect electromagnetic signals, including those emitted by submersible lights and lenses. Invisibility, then, isn't just a defensive trait, it's an aggressive advantage. And in the deepest parts of our oceans, it's the difference between life, death, and complete mystery. Following the breakthrough footage and early hypotheses, the team aboard the Abyssal Seeker wasted no time preparing for their second mission. This time, they weren't searching randomly. They had coordinates, patterns, and a single goal: capture clear, undeniable evidence of Spectravelis. They upgraded their submersible with next-generation low-EM cameras, specially designed to emit minimal electromagnetic signals that could spook deep-sea creatures. Specialized thermal sensors, enhanced sonar, and adaptive light systems were also installed. If Spectravelis could bend light and mimic heat, then their only chance was to outsmart its senses. The journey back into the trench was treacherous. The pressure was immense, the temperature barely above freezing, and the visibility non-existent. But the crew was determined. Days passed with only fleeting glimpses of glimmers in the dark, each one setting off a flurry of data captures and analysis. On the seventh day, everything changed. The submersible caught a massive disturbance in the water column, not just ripples or swirls, but something large, fast, and almost silent. Lights dimmed to near black, the sonar adjusted to ultra-sensitive settings, and the team held their breath. Then it appeared. Right in front of the submersible's camera, a silhouette that seemed to twist reality itself. It didn't move like a fish. It glided like a shadow being pulled by a current no one else could feel. The surrounding water shimmered and then vanished. Spectravelis was right there, staring directly at them, its form barely visible, like a ghost outlined in moonlight. For 47 seconds, the crew watched as it hovered, adjusted itself slightly, and then zipped away, leaving behind only warped light and scattered sonar data. It was undeniable. This creature wasn't just elusive, it was intelligent. It knew it was being watched, and it allowed it, just once. The footage captured in those moments would go on to be one of the most studied and mystifying clips in marine biology history. Even skeptics couldn't deny what they saw. The ocean had secrets it wasn't ready to share, and the hunt for Spectravelis was far from over. The 47-second footage sent shockwaves through both scientific communities and the public. But it wasn't just the invisibility that raised eyebrows. It was how Spectravelis behaved. The creature didn't flee immediately. It hovered. It watched. It responded. Was this a reflex of some hyper-evolved predator, or the sign of something far more intelligent? And the hunt for Spectravelis was far from over. Back at the International Abyssal Research Coalition headquarters, researchers dissected every frame. They noticed how Spectravelis remained perfectly still when the submersible lights dimmed, almost as if it was testing the boundaries of observation. When the cameras zoomed in, it subtly shifted position. But when the sonar pinged at a certain frequency, it vanished in an instant. This behavior didn't align with known animal instincts. It mirrored strategy, and the hunt for Spectravelis was far from over. A new hypothesis emerged. Spectravelis may possess cognitive abilities far beyond any deep-sea species ever documented. To test this theory, the team developed a simulation using deep learning AI based on Spectravelis's movement patterns. The AI consistently chose optimal stealth positions around hypothetical sensors. It predicted sonar sweeps and adapted escape routes. When cross-referenced with real ocean footage, the match rate was uncanny, over 92%. Something in this creature's neural structure, if it had one at all, was able to process complex spatial awareness and threat response. Marine neurologists proposed the creature could have distributed neural networks like an octopus, but even more refined. If Spectravelis could sense electromagnetic signals and interpret sonar frequencies, it might also perceive time and space differently, operating in a slow-motion world of silence, vibration, and light warping. But here's where things get really unsettling. Several deep-sea audio recordings captured during the second expedition revealed faint, rhythmic pulses, almost like communication. Some pulses were short, others long, repeating, intelligent. One marine cryptographer compared them to a rudimentary form of sonar-based language. Could this creature be part of a larger unknown species, a hive mind, a territorial guardian, or even, just maybe, the last of an ancient lineage that evolved millions of years before modern marine life? One researcher dubbed it Earth's extraterrestrial, not because it came from space, but because its abilities defied our earthbound understanding. The implications were enormous. If an intelligent, invisible predator lived in the crushing depths of our planet, what else could be out there? What else was hiding just beyond the reach of our cameras, and maybe even watching us in return? The story made headlines worldwide. Documentaries, forums, even governments wanted in. The hunt for Spectravelis was no longer just scientific. It had become a global obsession. But some researchers warned against interfering. "We are intruding into an ecosystem we barely comprehend," said Dr. Godwin, a leading abyssal ecologist. Spectravelis isn't a monster. It's a mystery, and some mysteries might not want to be solved. With the next expedition on the horizon, the world waited.